After embarking at Naples, and just after sailing round the Campanella headland, which divides the Sorrentino Peninsula from the Amalfi Coast, the three small isles of Galli emerge in front of us, the Rotonda, the Gallo Lungo and the Castelluccio, which have enchanted and welcomed the Russian ballerinas like Massini, as well as the world-famous Rudolf Nureyev, who stayed here during the 20th century. Just before approaching Positano, above the small beach, famous for its VIPs who have used it during the last 10 years, from the sea, one can admire both the Praia Tower and the Grado Tower at Vetica di Positano, once built against the Saracen raids, but today transformed into stately homes where the aristocracy abide. In Positano, colourful signboards are everywhere, and like the writer Stefan Andres defined, it is a true hiding place on the margin of history. Other than the fascinating Arab flavour of the narrow alleyways and never-ending steps, which are always crowded in nearly all seasons and at every hour of the day, under the main church towards the Marina Grande beach, a Roman holiday villa has been recently discovered, dating back to the Roman imperial age, smothered by the volcanic pumice stone during the eruption which also destroyed the Vesuvian cities. Past Praiano, we reach Furore, which for centuries the local population has always protected its well-known wildlife, and where Roberto Rossellini and Anna Magnani still often come to stay. But Furore is also art and history, like the Church of Sant'Elia and San Michele, or an authentic open-air museum called I Muri d'Autore, or the Author's Walls, where artists can let free their creative imagination in an explosion of ignited and multicolored chromium artwork. Another very exclusive coastal retreat is Conca dei Marini, characterized by its pretty white rooftops, as well as the emerald green shimmering sea, which has always attracted film stars and the international jet set like Sophia Loren and Jackie Kennedy. However, one of the main attractions in Conca dei Marini is the Sfogliatella Santa Rosa, a delicious creamy puff pastry which was once baked by the religious Dominicans in the 1500s from the actual monastery of Santa Rosa. We finally sail into Amalfi, the ancient maritime republic, which in very ancient times could also have once served as a maritime outpost for the great Nuceria Alfaterna area, situated on the other side of the Monti Latari mountains. It was in fact Amalfi which re-established the commercial relations and connections all over the Mediterranean after the fall of the Roman Empire by importing Eastern spices and manuscript paper once again into Europe. Amalfi was really the first place in Europe where paper mills were established, owing to their contacts at that time with the Arab world. Today, other than the breathtaking sea and the splendid and important cathedral dedicated to Saint Andrea, the manuscript museums are of great interest and furnished with a vast library. Just after a rocky bend in the bay, a tranny appears, which bewitched, a well-known artist, Cornelius Escher, in the 1920s, who in fact, by dedicating a series of painting and sketches to it, made this small coastal town become famous. Trani is not only famous for its asymmetric houses and alleyways, but also for the hidden grottos found along its coast. The most notorious is by far Masaniello's Grotto, where it seems that the leader of the homonymous Neapolitan revolt actually took refuge here. And now, where shall we go? We could either continue on to Minori, or why not make our way up towards Ravello? Maybe a short stop in this town, known as the drawing room of the Divine Coast, would be a perfect place to scan the horizon over the vast crescent-shaped Gulf of Salerno. On a clear spring day, one is able to see as far as the Capo Palinuro headland, not far from Calabria. This town, Ravello, known as the ancient Rebellum, was reached by many a person travelling up on a mule's back, or even by riding, like Richard Wagner did in 1880 to re-find that mythical garden of Klingsor. Intellectuals, artists, poets and celebrities have all stayed here, while writing or eloping, like Giovanni Boccaccio and Greta Garbo, a real icon of the cinema of all times, up until Gori Vidal, who recently passed away, leaving us his enchanting monuments, magnificent but discreet villas, and his charming hotels, which still pay tribute to the patrimony of mankind. Looking down from above, one can sight the seaside resorts of Minori and Maiori. These two towns are practically adjoining. In Minori, it is well worth a visit to the remarkable Roman seaside villa, found in the very centre of the town, dating back to the imperial age, with splendid polychrome mosaics and a superb viridarium Roman garden. Maiori, once the ancient Regina Maiori, nowadays offers a very modern tourist harbour, which is particularly active and busy in most seasons. Its large hotels and long, pleasant beaches welcome tourists in an atmosphere full of vitality. As we continue our journey, sailing around a bend towards Salerno, one can sight from the sea the watchtowers, which for centuries have defended the inland from the Saracen sackaging. Both of the once powerful Norman and Scarpariello watchtowers, like many others, have also changed their original purpose, even though keeping their austere and Spartan aspect. Cetar was found owing to its coastal setting, sheltered by the sea currents, where up until about 10 years ago, le tonare, a sort of long fishing net made from the resistant threaded mesh, was used for catching the highly valued fish. Even though the ways of fishing here have changed in time, the method of preserving the anchovies under salt has, however, remained, as well as the same authentic culinary of Cetara, like the highly valued funneling of fish paste, made from many well-known oily blue fish, which reminds us of the garum, once used by the Romans. Further on, we sail into Vietri sul Mare, known as the first pearl of the coast, where all its colourful ceramics are displayed in every little angle, which during time has made this town so famous and today exported worldwide. Picture picturesque walls, terraces and fountains can be found all over the busy town centre in a glorious explosion, variety and mixture, from traditional to bizarre shapes, in a variety of intense and bright colours, like the unconfounding coppery green, lemon yellow, or the ultra blue marine. Vietris Beach is emphasized by the two landmarks, known as the Two Brother Sea Rocks, which also announce the great shipping port of Salerno, which today has been brought back to being one of the most important ports. Salerno, busier than ever with its enchanting seafront, the promenade, also offers a choice of city walks and wonders, from culture to entertainment, like the Teatro Verdi Theatre, its historical centre, the Cathedral of San Matteo, the Church of San Pietro a Corte, the Arecchi Castle, and the monument of Santa Sofia, as well as a strong nightlife. Salerno's coastal road comes to an end with its hollow curves on the Gulf of Agropoli.